Good morning, everyone. My name is Hannah Levis. I am live here today. Exciting day. I was just here live 20 minutes ago. Today is what we call Tuesday Light the Torch Day. We have 4 to 6 different book releases. This is book number 2 today. And we are super, super excited about this book. I'm joined with some extraordinary women from all over the world. And this book is a composition of several authors who are from different parts of the world, different cultures, communities, and everything in between. This is a true passion project. And the book is called The Voices of 100 Women. And this is book 1 of 4. So this is pretty exciting stuff. So I want to give everyone a chance to introduce themselves, who they are, what they do. So I'm going to start with Kimberly Tyler. Good morning.
Good morning. I am very excited to be here. I am a retired educator turned author in Northern California. This is my 4th book with collaboration, and I'm very excited about this. And I like how it's a groundbreaking thing because it's a docuseries, and I'm very excited about the whole project. So thank you.
Well, thank you for being here. All right, let's go to Marty. Good morning.
Good morning, Hannah. Good morning, everyone. A pleasure and honor to be here as part of this group, 100 Voices of Women. I wished I'd heard this title years ago because I've always wanted to express myself. I'm a Jackie of all trades, mistress of none. I was born in Colombia, South America. I'm currently living in North Carolina. I'm married for 42 years, didn't have children, but my legacy of writing is what I'm leaving behind. This is my 8th book today, after I started it in the pandemic to transform myself into an unbelievable something I can't even describe. But thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for being here. All right, let's go to Sylvia.
Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to see our book. It's out on Amazon. You can order already the paperback version. And this is, I think, this year my 8th anthology or 7th, 8th anthology with She Rises Studios. I'm a proud host of the Flip It Show, where I teach literally the world how you can flip everything that hurts, frustrates, or bothers you into something beautiful, empowering, and desired. I'm doing this kind of change work through coaching, speaking, book writing for over 28 years, and I still love it. I believe the world needs what we are all doing here, and being together with so many wonderful women. When you Google 100 Voices of Women, there are different initiatives out there. We are in such amazing historical company. We are rewriting history. So happy to be here with all of you.
Well, thank you for joining us. Let's go to Molly.
Hi, everyone. My name is Molly Smith. I'm in the Dallas, Texas area. I'm a health and mindset coach. This is my first publication with She Rises Studios. The name of my chapter is Getting Out of the Funk. And I help women who are like ready to put themselves on the priority list, get out of the funk they're in with their health, their mindset, and their purpose. So glad to be here.
Thank you. Hi, Krista. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Krista Sobieski, and I live in central Wisconsin. And I have actually worked with children and families for the last 25 years, but I've always had a passion for writing. So I do a lot of freelance writing, and I published my first book with She Rises that came out in May as a solo author. So that was very exciting. And now I am part of several anthologies that are coming out, including this one. And this one just really sparked my interest a lot, because who does not want to be part of a group of 100 women, and bigger than that with She Rises, right? But who does not want to be part of a group of 100 inspirational women? And I just think it's a beautiful collaboration, to be part of this book as well as the other books. Because if we can't learn from each other and collaborate with each other, then we're not doing it right. So I think that this is just an incredible book, an incredible opportunity to be on a beautiful platform with so many other people that we can not only share our voice, but learn from. So thank you for this opportunity. And it's just been a great experience working with your company. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you for joining us and thank you for the kind words. All right, Miss Erin.
Hi, my name is Erin Laporto, and I am a yoga therapist and an embodiment coach. I kind of healed myself from an eating disorder by really building a relationship with my own body, and I've taken that to helping others do so, to get into their sexuality, to get more comfortable in relationships, and to really be expressing themselves fully in this world, all through body work. And I'm so excited and feel so blessed to be here and to see and feel all of your energy. What a wonderful collection of women.
Well, thank you for joining. Miss Tracy.
Hello, everyone. I'm Tracy Booker. I am born and raised from the city of Detroit, Michigan. So it is an honor to connect with so many women across the globe. I am the founder of Agape Inc. LLC, where I've published my first 2 books, and I found She Rises, where I feel like it's just kindred spirits, and this project has opened me up to allow me to embrace all the other good things inside of me and that I'm not alone. So I'm happy to be on this project to kickstart the rest of my writing journey, because I have so much more to bring to the table. So look forward to working with you guys in the future, and I'm excited for this launch today.
Thank you.
Hannah.
All right. Good morning, Marlene. I think you're muted, honey.
Hi, everyone. I'm Marlene Graaf from Suriname, and I'm so super excited to be here. In fact, I'm still processing this whole thing because my book also came out the 30th of September, and the paperback will come out one of these days. And how I know that I'm still processing, my belly and my stomach, they are upset, not in a negative way, but in a positive way. And I have you all to thank for, because lots of you, we are friends on Facebook, but She Rises Studios, they are awesome. Hannah, thank you so much with your team for making all this possible. But all you beautiful women, I saw the manuscript, I was in awe of all those stories and lots to learn about. I'm getting goosebumps right now. And I'm a founder and owner of Leadership Refocused, where I do business coaching. But what differentiates me is that I take the personal and professional development aspects into the coaching, and that's all that we are doing now, becoming, knowing or re-knowing each other and rediscovering each other, ourselves, and all the people we work with. That's what a company stands for. It's not only processes and procedures. So that's my part. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, let's go to Catherine.
Hi, everybody. I'm so excited to be here. I'm a single mom of 2 great kiddos doing our homeschooling, unschooling journey together. I have my 3rd book with She Rises coming out next month, along with this exciting adventure with all of you beautiful humans. I'm so excited to share this with all of you, and the transformation that I have acknowledged and witnessed in myself in this last year with She Rises, and then alongside all of you, has just, there are no words. For an author, I have no words, but it has been very amazing and inspiring, and I'm just so glad to be here with all of you. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for sharing. All right, let's go to Alexandra. Oh, did we lose her? Uh-oh. All right, let's go to Jadira. Good morning.
Good morning. It's such an honor to be here with all of you ladies. Thank you, Hannah, for the opportunity. I'm Yadira, but I go by Yavi. So my whole life I've been called Yadi, and I've created a brand for many, many years, with my nickname, Stay Wild with Yadi. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a mom of two. I'm a queer Latina, and now an author. I can now finally own the title author. It's been a dream of mine for the last 10 years, more than 10 years, to actually start working on the book, on the memoir about my life. I feel like I've gone through so much my whole life that there's just so many stories, so many things I want to share with the world to inspire, to empower, hope, and it's I don't have the words right now to say how grateful I am to the She Rises team, and I'm so excited to be a part of this collaboration. I can't wait to read everyone else's stories, and share that space with you and celebration. And yeah, thank you.
Well, thank you for sharing and for being a part of it. All right, Miss Anna.
Hi, good afternoon. It's such a blessing to be here and be part of this anthology, 100 Voices of Women. As you saw, I am a mom. I'm a mom of 3 beautiful girls, dancer, registered nurse, certified lactation counselor, cruise planners, travel specialist, and How Money Works financial educator. And this is my second anthology, which with She Rises Studio. And I am so blessed, like I said, to be here, but to not only share my story, to be part of this, legacy that we're building. And I couldn't be more excited. Thank you for the opportunity.
Well, thank you for being a part of it. You are a busy lady.
Thanks.
All right, let's go to Alexandra. I think you're muted. There you
Is
go.
it better?
Yes.
My name's Alexandra. I'm in Greece and the Wi-Fi is absolutely horrible. I've gone from hotel to hotel trying to find Wi-Fi. So sorry if I cut out. I'm from San Francisco and I am a life coach, a mindset coach, and I know all of us have woken up at some point and just felt like there was more to life. I sure did, and I hit rock bottom and I was able to rise out of it, and I teach people how to elevate and celebrate their life. And I just love celebrating everybody. Thanks for this opportunity to be here and to connect with such beautiful women. Thanks, Hannah.
Well, thank you for connecting all the way from Greece and taking us on your little vacay. It's amazing. I hope you're having fun over there. All right. Last but not least, I'm going to bring on KB Vega so she can take a few seconds to introduce herself and who she is.
Hi.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning or good afternoon. Sorry. So hi, I'm KB Vega. I just want to say that, well, first off, I just want to say that I'm really proud of myself as well as everyone in this project, and I'm honored to be a part of this project with all of you. So I just wanted to get that out. Do you want me to go into a little bit about what my chapter's about?
We're going to do that next. I just wanted everyone to kind of hear about you, what you do, things like that.
All right, perfect. So, okay. So KB Vega, I'm from Boston, Massachusetts. I actually have a company called an online feel-good clothing and lifestyle brand called Inspire Her Empire. And so I work with that. I'm busy with that as well as helping my husband at his restaurant. There's a lot of stuff going on. Sorry, I literally am out of breath because I just came in from a road trip. So I'm like, I got to get on here. So I apologize if I'm like trying to catch my breath here, but
You're good. You're good.
All right.
Well, thank you for joining us. All right. So I'm going to bring back, we have more than 10 people in this book, and technology for this only allows 10 at a time. So I'm going to bring some women back in. You're going to see a lot of circulation of this live. And this book was created from my brain and heart about wanting to showcase unification through the power of storytelling. No matter where you are in the world, as a woman in life and business, we go through things that are very similar to one another. That culture, religion, all those different things that people like to put in the mix do not keep us from experiencing some of the same things that happen to us as women in the world. And so I wanted to put together a love project of sharing voices from all of the women who are in this book, but also women who we have spoken to, who we have shared a cup of coffee with or met in person. Like, this is a perspective to show the importance of uniting and rising together as women, no matter where you are in the world. And so this is book 1 of book 4. There are 100 women who are part of the docu-series, a part of this movement, a part of the book series. And I'm so excited. I hope all of you get this book. It is on Amazon and it is currently circulating into all the other platforms. So my first question that I'm going to ask all the ladies, and I can only bring on 8 at a time, is why did you say yes? So I'm going to bring in Sylvia. I'm going to bring in Molly, Erin, Anna, Yadi, Catherine, Krista, and Marlene. Why did you say yes to writing this book? Sylvia, you want to take it away?
I have 3 reasons, and I start with the very personal and go then bigger to the global. My personal reason is that I'm also writing a solo book inside the 100 Voices of Women, and I thought the anthology is the perfect place for accountability and clarification of the core essential message of my big book. So the chapter helped me to get clear for my writing of my solo book, and it hopefully teases and entices and inspires the reader after reading the chapter to get then the full-blown book. The second reason is I have enrolled over a handful of real personal girlfriends of mine into the whole movement. So being together in the same book or in the same whole movement of She Rises Studios is just my way of nurturing my girl friendships. And then going even bigger globally, I believe in the mission of She Rises Studios, empowering women's voices, and by doing that, literally changing the world. We are so beyond the patriarchy, but we don't know yet what's on the horizon, crystallizing and showing up. We need women to step into their power, leadership, and wholeness and happiness. And She Rises Studios is my partner in doing that. And this anthology is a big, big empowering puzzle piece of the whole mission. So that's it. 3 reasons, and I'm happy to be here.
Sylvia, what is the name of your chapter?
Crazy Courage Charisma, Flip Inherent Trauma into Triumph. It's literally the summary of my life's work. I'm 57 and I'm still continuously liberating and healing myself from things I inherited my parents struggled with as children, being German during the Second World War, and all the effects that has with PTSD in my body and spilling out into my life. And for decades, I didn't know what I didn't know. But thanks to modern technology and the progress of science, we all know now that most of our issues are not our personal issues. They are collective or ancestral or familiar. And also, I'm so grateful to live now. We have all the tools and knowledge now how to heal ourselves. And my book is about my journey, and the chapter here in the anthology gives a taste. And it's also my most honest chapter I wrote this year, where I, even style-wise, I allowed myself to not be German engineered, but literally authentically even rambling to give the reader an authentic taste of what's going on inside here and why I sometimes feel going crazy, and that it takes courage to face your own craziness, and then you experience a charisma which comes out of that. So if you ever, beloved listener here, feel crazy, no, you are not alone. We all have those moments. And that in the seed, inside the craziness, is the seed of charisma. And the key to get to that seed is the courage to face our own craziness, which is 9 out of 10 times not our own fault.
Thank you for sharing. Miss Molly, why did you say yes?
And what is goodness.
It called?
Yeah, so my chapter is called Getting Out of the Funk. And, you know, over the last like 6 or 7 years, I have been in a funk in a lot of different areas of my life. And I open the chapter with probably the most vulnerable moment in my 25 plus year corporate career, where I share that I'm not a good fit for the role that I'm in, this executive role that I'm in, as it has evolved. And it was a point of tension where I wasn't living congruently with how I was made, my skill sets, my talents, like what fills my cup, in this pursuit to find that alignment and that congruence. And it's scary, but the reason why I wrote this chapter and my larger book, What the Funk, that comes out in January, is because what I discovered is there's so much freedom when we can step into who we are authentically, who God, whatever that is for you, made you to be. And there's freedom in that. There's fear there's fear in anxiety and all those things when you're living out of alignment with what you truly value. But I wrote the chapter as a way to say, look, if it feels odd, it feels weird now, there is a path forward, and come with me, because I've been on this journey, and I'd rather help you have a breakthrough before you have a breakdown. Can I get an amen? Right?
Amen.
And so I am just super passionate about this topic. I believe that we all need to be telling our story because it makes us feel more connected and less alone. And so just super grateful to you, Hannah, and to She Rises, and for these initiatives to be able to use our voice to really impact women around the world.
Amen to that too. All right, let's go to Yadi. Why did you say yes to the book, and what is your chapter called?
Yeah, like I mentioned, for over 10 years, I wanted to write my book, but I just never made the move. And around this time last year, I started researching ghostwriters, because I never considered myself a writer, but I had a story, like tons of stories I want to share. And I was like, if I can find somebody that can write it for me. And I started interviewing ghostwriters and publishing companies last year, at the beginning of fall. And I came across She Rises Studios, and I loved that, it was a family-based business, Latinas. I'm originally from LA, so I was like, okay, it's based out of LA, Vegas. There was so much that drew me to She Rises Studios, that I felt in my heart that this is my space. This is where I belong, and this is a company I should trust with helping me get my story out there. So, and that was the time that the Voices of 100 Women was being promoted. The opportunity was there. I felt like it was meant to be. I was exactly where I was supposed to be. And I said yes. I signed up, and like Sylvia, I am working on a memoir, and the anthology is also a teaser to what's to come with my with my full story. What am I missing? And the chapter's called "A Rose Amidst the Thorns," and it's about uncovering beauty and strength in adversity. And I can go into a lot of detail with that, but to save on time,
get the book.
Get the book.
Get the book. Get the book. All right, thank you. Let's go to Erin.
Hi, I am actually kind of freaking out. I think that the final title was From Body Hate, but I'm actually not 100% sure. I wanted to do this because I so believe in this message. I so believe in uplifting women. I so believe in community. So there were just so many things that were like, yes, 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 yes. And then it also is so aligned with the chapter that I wrote, which really spoke to my time where, you know, I feel like as women and as people and as like anybody who's outside different, it's like you're disordered, you're this, you know, there's some outside authority that you are supposed to be listening to. And how much can you bend yourself in order to fit this thing that isn't you? And I was getting treated for an eating disorder. And it was the moment that I showed up to her office early to catch her chain smoking a couple cigarettes. And I was dumbfounded with how I was giving so much of my power to this person who clearly had her own addiction. And it really goes into my journey, not to say that my path is anybody's path. And I am not the kind of coach that's like, here are the steps, follow these. I'm like, what are you feeling? What are you feeling? How do you listen to yourself? And I take you through the process of starting to do that for me for the very first time. And that was 20 years ago. And I've been helping people since. But that was my origin story, I would say. And I want to share it too, to be like, it's messy getting to know yourself. And it's okay to be messy. And it's okay to stop everything that you think you're supposed to be doing in life in order to like actually meet yourself. And then you can build whatever you want from there. So really, really honored to hear all the other amazing voices and to be able to share my story in this way.
Thank you, Erin. All right, let's go to Anna.
Hi, guys. So please bear with me with the girls in the back. So I said yes to 100 Voices of Women. It was my first anthology because my real estate agent was the one who introduced me to She Rises. She was like, do you want to write a book? And I said yes. So I got I still have yet to write my own book, but then I saw the 100 Voices of Women opportunity come up. So I said yes. And then I was not in the best place back, May, June. And that's kind of what I write about in my own chapter, which embracing vulnerability, because due to events earlier this year, my partner and I, we kind of gave it that started the life we live now. As of end of August, we're full-time RVers, and right now we're in Elkhart, Indiana, because he went from being a pool guy for the last 15 years to now he's going to be a RV technician. So that's why we're here, because this is where the heart of RVs is, and he's in school right now. That's why I have the girls, because I don't know anybody here in Elkhart. And it just really changed everything for us. All those like bad events, I think it was Sylvia's thing, how she flips everything. We were able to flip it and make those bad events become something positive. And now we're living our best life. Yes, it's hard and challenging at times, but what we were doing back home just wasn't right. We weren't enjoying our children. We weren't enjoying each other. And now we get to enjoy each other and our children. I'm also so I'm learning how to school my oldest at home. Okay, Addie, hold on. And so that's just another part of the journey. So I wanted to share. Maybe some of the steps. And like somebody else was saying, it's not about, this is step 1, 2, 3. It's I'm giving you suggestions. You take it as in order, you take it as is, you take it however you want, but I'm just trying to give you practical advice, because a lot of the times people tell you what to do, but they don't give you any steps, they don't give you any information or how to even get from. And so sorry for the Wi-Fi, it's not the best here at the campground, but I wanted to give some practical advice. I also wrote in Sensual Symphony, and that one came out first before this one. So they kind of go hand in hand. And I'm hoping to use these books for my clients when I'm mentoring them as well, because all of us have gone through some hard stuff in our life, and I hope I can be there for them as well. So thank you for the opportunity. I feel very blessed to be here.
Thank you for sharing. All right, Miss Krista.
Well, I chose to be part of this. Just going back a little bit, I had been looking for almost 5 years, or probably even longer. Naturally, I've always just enjoyed writing, and in 2017, I lost my parents. So my mother died of breast cancer. Yay, pink! Everyone wearing pink. I see your hat. I love it. Um, my mother died of breast cancer, and the same day that she died, my dad had a heart attack and he died. So I lost my parents in a span of 3 hours. My mother, if you can be prepared to lose your mother, I guess I was somewhat prepared because she was terminally ill. My dad was completely unexpected. So after I lost my parents, I just kind of started sharing my story because that was part of healing, and we created a nonprofit. And people kept saying to me, you need to share your story more. But what people didn't know, and a lot of people thought I was just really grieving my parents, which I was, but I was also part of a horrible, horrible business situation that I got targeted right in the middle of it. And it was just a 7-year period that was extremely awful, starting probably about 2016 with my mother's cancer diagnosis and moving forward. But it was, I was grieving a lot of things. I was grieving a career that I loved, colleagues that I worked with that were my friends, on top of losing both of my parents and being targeted in a horrible business matter. So I decided to write a short memoir, and that is called Giving Into Hope. That came out this year with She Rises in May. And then this project came up, and I was just very, very excited. That one of the things that happens when you go through challenging times is you lose yourself and you blame yourself. And, that's what I was doing. I was questioning why I didn't question my mom's doctors. Why didn't we get in a second opinion sooner with the business situation? I was questioning, how did I not see through that? How did I not know? How did I get targeted? So I was putting a lot of blame and a lot of weight on my shoulders. So my chapter in 100 Voices of Women is love, or authentic love starts from your own heart. And I think when we go through things, we have this expectation of ourselves so often as women that we really do have to hold it together and we have to keep going forward. And right, we do. We fall and we have to pick up the pieces and we have to move on. But what I really needed to do is I needed to start to love myself again for the authentic me and show who I was, because I had been through so many challenging things really in that 7-year period. And when this chapter was available and being part of 100 Voices of Women, I think we have so much to learn from each other and so much to give. And even when we're on top of our game, because I really felt like for a period of time, I really was. So it was really, really challenging for me to really love myself through all of that. Like how I blamed myself, and naturally as women, and I think just as human beings, that's what we do when bad things happen. We question why, when, what, all those, how did this happen? And so I really needed to just start over again, right? And get through the grief and, just heal from everything. Heal, because grief isn't just about losing people. Grief is way bigger than that. And I my heart was just numb. Like I was numb to different things. And when this chapter, like I said, having this opportunity to be part of this book and 100 Voices, it just gave me a platform, not just to focus on all the negative, but really how you reset yourself and how you start over when you feel like you've just been beaten down. I used to joke, I'd always say, well, it can't get much worse, or nothing else bad can happen. And it just seemed like a dark cloud loomed over me for a 7-year period. If it was bad, it was going to find me. And so I really had to, restart and sharing my book. The original book, Giving Into Hope, was the start of that. And being part of this was just an incredible opportunity, just to let my voice be heard, what I've learned, how I've grown from that, and, how we can find happiness again and move beyond the challenging times. And with so many other great women, I mean, what an incredible opportunity.
Well, thank you for sharing. And it's a lot.
It's a lot.
It
But I'm
is.
good today. I'm good. And, my being part of some other books as well. And for me, writing has always been an enjoyment, but I really didn't realize how therapeutic it was for me. And when I look back at the journaling, just how healing it all has been, and writing. And I think there's something just, and if I can say this correctly, but just liberating about sharing your story and letting others hear your voice. And one of the things that I've learned, even with my original book and, moving forward, is people are interested, people are curious. But the biggest thing, that I've learned in life is it's our connections to others and our relationships, and that's also what helps us move forward. But when we can share our story, it's like I said, for me it was healing, but the biggest thing is learning other people's stories by sharing my own and connecting with them. And people will say, oh gosh, I had this happen, and you find this connection, and suddenly you don't feel alone, you don't feel that dark cloud, and feel as lonely, because everyone has a story, everybody, and it's unique to them, but it deserves to be shared. And this is just an incredible platform to be part of, to share those stories and connect with others, and not only hopefully inspire them, but help yourself as well.
Thank you. All right, Marlene.
Yeah. Why did I say yes? First of all, when I was writing "Re-Embrace You," I thought about how to uh, have this chapter. My chapter is my journey of forgiveness. Um, but I couldn't see how it could fit. It was too heavy. It was too deep, and I got it out of the book. And then came along the anthology, to be part of the anthology, and almost because of lots of the challenges, I almost thought I couldn't be part of this book. So thank you, still, to be part of this whole journey. And I I I thought having this story out is my own story, and we are taught about forgiveness because I was brought up as Christian at a very young age. But in detail, I was not taught how to forgive. So when this hurt came over me, that's when I start my forgiveness path. That's where I learned all these stages of forgiveness, because when people are talking to you about forgiveness, it is like, oh, you have to forgive and forgive and forget. But all the emotions, it looked like you have to can all these emotions, you don't have to take them into account. But that's what I was feeling, and going all that, and later on talking to good friends about forgiveness, they were all like, for them it was an eye opener also, all the stages I went through. And that's the moment I knew that I had to do something with this. And that's where I am very grateful to share these stages, but also the aftermath of these stages, what came out for me, the good, the positive. And this is the thing I want to share, because I want to have, it's my ex-husband, but I still want to have that good relationship with him because of my children and my grandchildren. And that's where I am now. So that's what I wanted to share in my chapter of my journey to forgiveness.
Well, thank you for sharing. So my next question, and before I continue, there are several women in this book, and I want to give everyone a chance to share their perspective on different things. So my next question, and I'll bring on the next 8 ladies, is each of the chapters that these women wrote contribute to a larger global conversation about women empowerment, from healing to forgiveness to servitude. There's so many different aspects of sharing your voice. But what my question is how do you see your personal story that you shared in this book intersecting with the broader movement of supporting women across cultures and continents? So I'm going to bring on Marty. I'm going to bring on Kimberly Tyler. I'm going to bring on Tracy Booker. And let me go to, let's see, KB. Alexandra. So let's start with you, Marty.
Okay. All right. So I am international. I've always claimed to be international. Little did I know that I had so much to share and in common under the common denominator of women in general. And that's the thing. I think the world doesn't know each other because we're assuming that we're all different, but really and truly, there's so much more commonality in everyone. And one of the things that I've been named the resilience ambassador because of the expertise that I've developed along the 60 years of all my trials and tribulations. And one of them was called that I was called a mistake when I was 7 years old. I took that to heart, but I didn't know that I had taken it to heart in a good way. I just didn't, because of all the emotional luggage and everything. And later on, I saw that that was my driving force. That was my perseverance, my stubbornness, my wanting to be heard and acknowledged. And I think that's a common thing for everyone. I think if we all knew each other, what we stood for and where we want to go and be, we'd find that we all want the same thing. And it doesn't matter what language. So I learned I'm supposedly Spanish first and then English, but because of all moving around 49 times, I learned English before I did Spanish. So I was already a misfit. I couldn't figure what to call a fruit versus a bad word, and I didn't want to say anything, so I spoke knowing nothing but English for 8 years. So that was like, but after writing my book, I saw that it was making me empathetic and compassionate about not knowing the language, about not fitting into the environment. I was always pulled out of middle of the school year, and it was like, and I can't make friends. I can't this, I can't that, but I would never say what I could do. And the book was my catharsis to say, look at all you've gotten through. Look at all that God gave you the tools to get and advance into your life. Now go out and share it. And the joy that I feel, people think I'm drunk or on some kind of medication. Why is it that you're not depressed anymore? No, I did have a psychiatric a breakdown in my lifetime when I had the wheelchair incident, but I'm just grateful that I came around full circle. I decided that the thing that I was missing most was loving myself. I didn't know how to love myself because I believed all the things that I was told. Oh, what do you mean you got a 98 on your test? You should have gotten 100. It was silly demands that made me a perfectionist, but then I hated being perfectionist because it was too demanding. So I think as women, we all want to be known and heard and stand on our virtues and our values and our faith. But at the same time, we don't know how to maneuver around the powers that be. And I say the more we speak of what we're feeling and what we're going through, the more we're understood as a force, as a movement. And then we will be accepted and appreciated and respected for all the things that we do know how to, overcome and glide through. My book talks about navigating through the turbulence, talks about being resilient, talks about embracing the change, accepting your transformation. And it's never too late, never too late. I turned 65 and to me, I was just born. I just like a little kid in a candy store. I'm going to share what I know that makes me joyous, and I want someone else to get that seed of hope. Maybe they won't see it now, but something will trigger that they'll say, wow. And when you assume the responsibility of all the things that you've lived, that you can't blame it on the world. You have to blame it on, assume the responsibility. It's how I react, how I engage my surroundings, who I surround myself with is important as well. Because if you're a Debbie Downer and you're bummed out and depressed, you're going to compete with each other. Who's got the worst case history of traumas? So it's kind of like, no, that's not what we need. We don't need more crap. We need more joy. We need more peace. We need more acceptance and understanding that none of us are perfect, but we all have a uniqueness. And this book is a resemblance of what I'm talking about. Is each one of us has our own story, but each one is uniquely treasured with a talent and a treasure that we need to share with the world. And when you share that goodness, your soul searching is expanded to being a servant spirit, and everything kind of falls into place. And all the missing ingredients I was having in my childhood and adulthood, they're coming to now. And thanks be to God, because my husband is the one that's gotten the best of it. God, in 42 years, he's seen all the transformation in me. And he's like, wow, I feel like I married someone else. But I still love the original version. So it's cool. And thank you for letting me share this, but it's important for each one of us to share our story. And She Rises is an excellent opportunity to do so.
Oh, thank you for sharing. Before I go to Kimberly, I just want to share to everyone behind the screen. You can all go to She Rises Studios Facebook page, ladies, authors in this book, and those who are watching this, and you can actually share it. And you can also comment on the front end, like Yolanda Smith has been doing. And if those of you who are watching, those of you who are in this space, in the behind the scenes space, if there's some questions or things that you want to share during the live, you can. So Kimberly, what is your opinion? And I'll re-ask the question because it is kind of a long one. But basically, women's empowerment space is a huge space. Sometimes it's used loosely. But your personal journey in this book and just in life, how do you think it intersects with the tone of this book, and why our voices uniting together is so important?
One of the things that I've really recognized as I've gotten older, I like the ER, so, is, I come from a long line of very strong women. I grew up listening to stories from my grandmother that, was astonishing. She was born in 1903, and what she went through and what was the norm for that generation. And I have around me and ever growing large family of young women, strong women, and I have been the one to say, hey, yeah, you can get a teaching degree at 40 years old. Yeah, you can rise to a place of, high responsibility and leadership. You can go out and serve your community, on a school board. You can go do a lot of things that as a high school dropout, because I was, teenage pregnancy statistic, didn't seem like it was something possible. And I think that encouragement is something that I see in She Rises Studios. I've always seen. And with today's technology, especially with Phoenix TV, that audience is now global. That audience, all the links to everything that's put out, every project, it's going in worldwide. There are people being encouraged by the stories and the books. I mean, even your chapter in this book, Hannah, I really appreciated the way that you started the book, talking about little stories of women who were empowered from that you've met in your journey. And the fact that they're everywhere. They're all around us. And how do we reach them? How do we connect with them? How do we empower them? How do we, help them in their journeys? As I wrote my chapter, it was designed to be, the title is Unquenchable Joy, and it's going to be expanded into a solo book that's coming out in March. And it's, practical rubber meets the road. How do you get up every day? All these young women who I'm watching balance full-time jobs, big families, and present to the world in their Facebook and social medias that, hey, they're all happy. It's all good. And you're like, okay, well, what's the positive thing behind that? And what are some practical things that we can do, like daily creative expression? Or, for me, because I do have a deep personal relationship with the Lord, I'm going to put a lot of that in there. But I'm hoping that there's going to be something in my chapter in my book that's going to encourage anyone who reads it, that you're going to find something in there that says, yeah, I could get up and dance in the middle of the day when I'm feeling bummed, and it's going to make me feel better. I mean, there's just different ways that we can encourage each other that may not seem important at the time, but truly can be. The global reach of Phoenix TV and She Rises Studios is just such a great vehicle for that.
Oh, thank you. I think I'm going to switch it up for Tracy. We'll keep the question a little similar, but a little different. So have you noticed a tone throughout like everyone's answers? How this question that I asked, like, how does your personal journey kind of intersect with the other women who are part of this book with you? What is
Yes.
one thing that you kind of just keep hearing from each one as they're sharing?
Yeah, well, you know what? It's at the end of the day, it's all about empowerment. And it's a great pivot into my book, my chapter, because I love cars. I'm from the Motor City. And I titled my chapter High Octane Empowerment. And I grew up in a home, with domestic violence. My mom has 7 kids. I have a total of 13 siblings, mostly all girls. And so I'm very familiar with girl power and becoming in sync, from cycles to all that whole 9 yards, growing up in the home. So it's not strange for me to find you guys as She Rises, because I've found within my own city of growing up through trauma, I kind of isolate and I'm more of a loner. So I'm the oldest sibling. So I had a lot of responsibility and I kind of process things different than my younger siblings, or they don't have the same memories that I have because I was the one that was shielding them from a lot of things. So high octane empowerment basically is we all basically have a set of eyes. However, even growing up in the same household, we process things, we see and hear things differently than maybe our siblings. We're going to all take away something different. And even though we grew up in the same house, where one might despise this, one might grow up admiring it, and we all take different paths. So high octane is to say, let's be mindful about what we're putting in our bodies and what we're putting in our minds, what we're processing, so that we can get the best performance and the output. So in a car, you use 87 octane and you're supposed to be using 93. The car is not going to perform at its maximum speed or, the way that it was designed to run. And our bodies, our mind, our souls, our spirits it operates the same way. So I'm hoping that using that analogy and kind of disconnecting real life trauma to something that we all can relate to in our vehicles, that we know if we don't get the oil change, we don't rotate the tires, we don't put the proper oil in it, is not going to perform. And so we can take that and put it and apply it to ourselves, from working out to drinking enough water to doing all the things that we know we need to do so that we can perform at our maximum. And so I'm hoping that will encourage people. They like my style of writing because that's how I tend to storytell. Just trying to get people to connect through different things that we use every day in life.
I love the analogy. And then I'm going to go next to Alexandra. But I love the analogy. So if you put good gas, like the best of the best, you're going to have the best of the best performance. But if you're putting in the junk, your car is going to let out the smog, the fog, all the crap, right? So if you're putting in the good, you're going to release the good. I love that. So that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. All right, Miss Alexandra.
Which question would you like me to answer?
share your personal perspective. Like, how do you see your journey in this book, and just, the intersection of the tone of the 100 Voices of Women, like there's this thing that we all keep saying, and I'll share mine last. Like, what are you hearing? What's the point of togetherness?
For me, I'm hearing resilience. Every woman here has a story of resilience in some way, shape, or form. It's a defining moment that changes them, and it makes them see the world in a different way. And in my story, my inner world was reflecting my outer world. So I was so bitter and jaded that all the minutia was coming at me, and I started to realize it. And but I had to hit like a rock bottom because I was programmed to, get married and have lots of babies, and I always wanted to have babies. And I had frozen my eggs and they were destroyed in an accident. And just like that, that was taken from me. And the very next day, the partner that I wanted to do that with dumped me. We just decided we were going to do it. So you get that and you realize I might not have the tools to deal with this stress. Now what? And I think that's where everybody's story begins, is now what? And I think that's the underlying theme for all of us. Now what? Now what is I became, I saw, and I am. And that's the story of every woman here. And they were the version of themselves they didn't think they could ever be. So I'm excited to be a part of this, just to connect with all these women on here, learn about their stories, because we all are the same on some level. We're programmed in a certain way, and then we want to rise above and be somebody above and beyond that. And it's our story to write, and that's why I'm here.
We all have a story, but you're right. It is resilience. That's the one thing I keep hearing, like throughout the whole thing, is the resilience. After loss, the grief, forgiveness, all of that requires resilience. So thank you for sharing that. All right, let's go to KB.
Off mute. Okay. Hi. Hi, everyone. So am I the first question, right? It was kind of the same. Okay. So basically for so long, I pushed a lot of stuff that I went through down into my core and didn't speak about it because, sorry, I might get emotional talking. Every time I talk about this, I get emotional. But it was to the point where I just felt like shame or guilt, or even talking about it. It was like, because I did mention it to people, some were just kind of like, oh, here we go again. Here she is telling her story again, like, oh, get over it, kind of a thing. So I pushed it for years and years and years. I pushed everything that I went through down into my core. This has to deal, just to give you a little idea, severe depression, anxiety, traumatic loss, drug addiction, eating disorders, abuse, but just pushing that all down and not talking about it. So in all these years, it kind of went by and it was never spoken about. And then I realized when I started, before I started my company, Inspire Her Empire, which is kind of the same, which I knew I had to join She Rises because you guys kind of have the same mission. We're all about empowering and inspiring women to be the best versions of themselves through self-love, body positivity, and confidence. Those were all things that I struggled with when I was growing up. But before I started that actual company, I started off as a positivity platform on Instagram. And what I was doing, not realizing, but I was giving little snippets of kind of what I went through. And I didn't realize that by me just sharing my little snippets, not only was it a release or like a self-healing process for me, but it was more so like people that I didn't even know were kind of messaging me, private messaging me, telling me that, they're inspired by my story and that I gave them the courage to speak up, or the courage to, do things differently or whatever. But I knew right then and there that was my purpose, right? Was by helping people and inspiring people, because, and it was actually, like I said, it was healing them. It was healing for them, but it was also healing for me. So my chapter is actually called More Than Enough. And it's about my, again, struggles, a little chapter going into what my main book will be about, going into depth about what I've overcome and going through that. But mainly it's all about self-worth and what I like, loving myself again and not taking blame for certain things that were not my fault. And, so having me tell my story, I'm hoping that it would have the same reaction like when I was telling my little snippets of just helping people, inspiring people, and uplifting people, and being brave enough to own their story and be comfortable telling their story with the hopes of helping others as well.
Mm.
So it's kind of like a trickle down effect. So we're all kind of helping each other. So
I love it. Thank you for sharing.
absolutely, thank you.
And it's okay to be emotional.
I
If
am.
you
Every time I find myself getting, with tears in my eyes, and just hearing everybody, like, honestly, it's an amazing project to be a part of, and I'm really happy to be a part of it. Everyone is amazing. Everyone is a badass, strong woman, and I just love this community. So thank you.
Can I just share, a lot of times people say, "Oh, women are so emotional." But you know what? We are.
Mhm.
And
And
really
it's okay.
honestly, it's a compliment and
Mhm.
it means we're connected. Like we're not numb to pain, to happiness, to
Mhm.
everything. So it's okay, to be emotional. It's okay to share how we feel, and it is brave. Resilience is the theme here. So last but not least, of course, let's go back to Catherine, and then I'm going to bring on some more ladies and ask one last question, and then we will close this out.
That's better?
Yes.
First, thank you for being emotional, KB, because I was so afraid that I would be the one blubbering. The only one, because that's always me. I think the other common theme that I'm hearing is this inner feeling that we have more. And some of us aren't even sure what that is. We just know that we have more to share with others. And your first question being, why did we say yes? Coupled with this question, I have been learning for a hard year, but probably for two, to say yes to more things. I have never wanted to be seen. I have been. I mean, everybody wants to be seen, right? But not really. Look over there, look away. I'll fix things while all the trouble goes on around me. But don't pay attention to me, because I just got really good at staying in the corner and being quiet and staying out of trouble. And something that I have learned is to say yes. And hearing more women speak similar stories and talk about wanting to share themselves and their stories with others. And then this opportunity to be in this book with She Rises came along. Everything was just serendipitous. And when you start opening up and seeing the blessings and looking for the blessings, it's just been the snowball effect of one thing after another, of beautiful people and beautiful stories, and lots of messy and sad and uncomfortable in there too. But that's what I've seen mostly in this journey, is this desire for so many wonderful human beings, wonderful women wanting to speak their truth and to share. And the more I share, the little bit braver I become, and the more I realize I have so much more to share. And I think this anthology is just the tip of the iceberg for me. I've recently started on a memoir for myself that I never planned to do, because it's inspired me to share more. Because what I'm learning about all of you is so similar and so inspiring and so sad and so hard and so amazing, that it helps me realize that we're all so alike. And this opportunity is amazing. I'm feeling very emotional too right now and losing my train of thought, but
that's okay.
It's amazing. It's so inspiring, and being together, getting together to do this, and our times together in meetings, it's just beautiful. It's so beautiful to hear everybody's stories.
Well, thank you for sharing. So, my next question is going to be our closing question, and then I will bring back all of the ladies. And be sure to connect with these incredible women. You can do so through grabbing the book. The book is available all across Amazon. We are currently running bestseller campaigns right now. It is available in 13 different countries. So you can grab this book, The Voices of 100 Women, today in paperback. If you have Amazon Prime, chances are you're going to get it the next 2 days. And inside that book is an easy way to connect with each one of these women who have poured their heart and soul. And not all of them are with us today. But I want to say a huge shout out to everyone in the book who has participated in this big movement. Rounding up 100 women from around the globe was very hard. And I want to give a big shout out to 2 women who helped do that. One of them being Heather Stokes, who is not with us today. She is dealing with aftermath of Hurricane Milton. And the other is Ashley Pakulewski. She did a lot of assistance in bringing all of these women together. And I just want to say a huge thank you to them. This is just the beginning. This isn't even scratching the surface of what we're going to do with this movement, docu-series, book series. And what I mean by that is that no matter where you are in the world, as a woman, you face things that are so similar to one another, and that we can no longer allow the prejudices in the world to break us apart, but instead they need to be utilized to bring us together. And how do we do that? Through sharing our stories, because our stories matter, through impacting for good, doing all these amazing things that we can as women. And it's not going to stop. If we continue to do it, it builds up and it continues to grow. And that's why we're so passionate about bringing women and sharing their stories, even when it hurts, because those stories help elevate and inspire others to make change. You never know who's watching your journey. You never know who you're inspiring. You never know who is feeling exactly how you're feeling. But the way you find them and they find you is through the power of storytelling. So my last question to everyone who is with us today, and this has been a long live because there's so many of you, is what is your hope for you as the author moving forward and being a part of this movement? So I'm going to bring Sylvia, Marty, Marlene, Tracy, KB, Yadi, Krista, and Catherine back. So I'm going to start with you, Sylvia.
Great. And I didn't hear the question because I was managing our screenshots from these lives. Can you please repeat the question?
My question was, what is the hope for you and this project, you as the author, you as the person who has been a part of this? What is a personal hope for you?
I'm at an age now, outing myself, 57, where money is fun and needed, but not any longer the driver. So for me, it's about impact. And I love numbers. Numbers stand for a story behind it. I want that this book reaches minimum more than 10,000 women around the world. I get goosebumps saying it. I want to say bigger numbers, 100,000 women around the world. Why not 1 million? Because as you just said, these individual stories based and rooted in resilience, sometimes written with sweat, blood, and tears, they touch people's hearts. And we learn so much deeper when our hearts are touched than just intellectual information. And I say that as a German with 2 university degrees, realizing quite late that learning happens through the heart and not the brain. So that's my personal hope. I want my story to touch 100,000 women and help them. And if it's not my chapter, then I know another chapter, because we are such diverse voices. So each reader will find 2, 3, 4 chapters they can relate, and the rest you just pass. It doesn't matter. Yeah, diversity is beautiful and powerful, and the world needs this book. And I hope to hear from some of the readers. I love reviews on Amazon, but I also love personal shares. I print them out. I have them in my desk. And if I have a low moment of self-doubt, I pull out old testimonials, thank you cards from past clients and readers, and they remind me why I work so hard, even though I'm at an age where most others are thinking about retirement, which I will never do. It's just too boring.
I love it. Thank you. All right, let's go to Yadi.
Yeah, my hope with this book is that it does reach the heart of women from all over the world. And just like Sylvia said, I have no doubt that it's going to impact lives, that it'll inspire in it and empower women to not feel alone. There is so much diversity with hearing from many women, in this book, and we come from all different backgrounds, and we're in different areas of the world, and it's what we go through. It happens everywhere. It doesn't discriminate.
That's right.
It does not discriminate, and I'm just hoping that it really does. And I see Sylvia holding it up, and
I know.
It's exciting because while we've been on this live, I've already had a couple people buy the book, and I just can't wait to see how many lives we touch, and then, and also get people to come out and share their voice and their story.
100%.
Yeah.
I think you're right. No one is an exception to the rule of feeling pain, of feeling exclusion, of feeling all the different things. It's how we handle it. It's how we learn from it, how we share it. I think Tracy said that. Some of the resilience is built from experience, and that's what the book is about. That's what's supposed to really bring us together. So with that said, I'm going to go to Tracy.
Okay, well, thank you, Hannah. Again, I'm in agreement with the reach that we can touch as many lives and introduce some new perspectives to those that may be in the dark, so to speak, at that moment where they haven't asked themselves what's next, but can feel that burning sensation that I need to make a shift and really don't know how. So maybe this book can open up some ideas, reading with the different stories, connecting to one of the stories that may resonate with where they're at in their life. And I'm hoping that this opportunity leads me to a stage where I can speak and have my voice heard, where I feel like I've been shy and not really stepping into my true power. So since I've been working with She Rises, I've been tremendously inspired by everyone. And it always makes me feel like I'm not doing enough. I'm like, she posted something new today. Oh my God, I can't keep up. Like, what's going on? So everybody is like inspiring. I feel like I'm not doing enough. I can't keep up. But it's all good. It's all love. And I'm excited to be a part of this beautiful family.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I just don't sleep. No.
Yeah, it's impossible.
I have a lot of help. All of you help. Trust me. All right, let's go to Marty.
Well, I'll tell you what, everything that I heard today is kind of like a little bit of me. So this just proclaims the thing that I've said all along, that there's a lot more similarity in all of us. The difference is we're afraid to share it for fear of what might be said or whatever. So my impact that I want to achieve with this, along with the Creative Chaos Warrior book that I wrote, and I'm so excited about that one. That was a solo book. it's all about handling all the trouble and tribulation and trials and fixing yourself to a better version each day. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen because you heard something, all of a sudden you're different. No, you have to live through it, you have to feel it, and you have to expel it in expression, in telling your story, in sharing with the world what it is that got you through all this. And when we hear it from enough people, we'll make an impact. We will change the world, because that's the problem, is we've held back too much, and now it's all pushing us forward we're lost. We're lost. No one has an idea of what's going to happen with any of us, but it doesn't matter. As long as you're grounded and you keep moving one baby step in front of the other, you're going to transform. You're going to evolve. You're going to help someone along the way. And that's what I love about this. The whole process has made me feel good about myself, but at the same time, I want to bring people with me. We're all together in this. It's not just me. Oh, look, I wrote a book. No, it's more like, if I did it, you can do it. If I said it, you can express it. So that fear that I had before I started any writing is I thought I had to be William Shakespeare. No, tell it like you feel it, like you live it, and you will come through as an authentic human being. And that's what we can all. This impact is authenticity, and this is what we need to share with the world. So more power to more people that write their book and their story, and more power that join She Rises, because we're all together rising to make this world better.
Amen.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Very well said.
Let's go to Marlene.
I have written it in the chat, in the StreamYard chat, like all the stories in this book are part of my voice. All of you have voiced a part of me. So what I hope with this book is also that all these stories will also voice the stories of other women. And with my story, what I hope is that um, the part where we learned about forgiveness from a child till adult, like just forgive and forget. It doesn't work like that. So with my story, I try to share all these stages, and hopefully other people can recognize their own part of their road of forgiveness. But also more important, that this book would give them insights in different aspects of their life. You could. It's not necessary that you recognize yourself in the whole story of everyone, but you will certainly find aspects of it. And that's my hope. And I'm still, sometimes it's overwhelming, all this. It's really overwhelming. Still have to process this whole thing. I feel it in my stomach, I feel it in my belly. And I was with my daughter and a good friend of mine, and I was driving because I had to get this energy out. And I was like I want to yell. So this is what this whole journey and this book, my book, and the community of She Rises Studios brings out. It brings out the story of pain, courage, um, resilience, everything. It brings out everything that's part of you, what have been maybe canned up so long inside. So that's my part.
Well, thank you for sharing. Let's go to, let's see, who haven't we reached out to yet? Let's go to Krista.
Okay, yeah. I mean, my hope really is that it brings encouragement to others to share their story. I think the biggest thing being part of a book like this, or having 99 other people, number one, it shows the collaboration, but I think what it really does is it shows how much we are more alike than we are different. And that when we're open-minded and we listen to each other's stories and we learn from each other, we can grow within ourselves. And I think that would be my biggest hope, would be that whether it's my story or one of the other 99 stories, that are in this book, that are shared, that we can all take something away from it. And I think when we're open to that, again, we can just learn from each other. And not only does that help us go through maybe what we're going through, but it helps others. And I really hope it encourages others to share their stories, because I think that's the biggest thing that holds us back is as many of you have said, the fear of judgment, the fear of, what are they going to think of me? What are they going to say? And what we learn when we share is we probably more often are helping others than we're not. But it's our willingness to be open and to share and to be at a place where we can. So I hope that this book, brings a lot of empowerment to other people, as well as and everyone that's involved in a project like this, because we're better together. We're better together, and we can do more for each other when we follow that mindset. And this book and this collaboration is just a great reminder of that. And I hope that, when we have ideas, and it doesn't have to be a book, but when we have ideas and we find a community that can do the power of good, look at how that changes the world. And that's really what we are, is we're difference makers, we're change makers. And that's what we really should want for everyone, to have that opportunity. And I think that's my hope, is that this just inspires this whole project, not just my story or your individual stories, but this project, inspires others to come together, to collaborate, and really make a difference in whatever they're doing. And that really is my hope, because I just firmly believe we're better together, and we change the world when we put our ideas together, and we're open-minded and listen to each other and learn from each other. We all grow. And I hope that, I'm sure I will have a lot of growth from reading all the other stories. But I hope others, will just be empowered to grow too, and move forward. And every day is a new day, right? Every day is a new opportunity. And it's the only thing that's holding us back is our own mindset. So hopefully this project brings a lot of great ideas to others, and keeps them open-minded and helps them heal and grow and just keep learning.
I agree. I think that it's time for a makeover for the world. And the way that we do that is collaboration and community. With that being said, I'm going to go to Ms. Catherine.
Well, I'm sitting here thinking of so many things, and then somebody else has beautiful things to say. But the common thread, Marty, you said you felt like you needed to be Shakespeare and realized that you just have to pour your heart out. I think Marlene said something too about, it made me think of how we compare ourselves so easily to others and try to strive to be what we think we're supposed to be. And that is something else that I have discovered and embraced in this journey with all of you, is that you just need to be you. And that's the most beautiful thing that you can be. And the love that I've experienced in my solo books and in the anthology that I've put out and received is beyond anything I could ever have imagined. And the growth, it's mind-blowing. And I think what I'm hoping for with this book is for the love and compassion that's already just blowing up within all of us and around all of us will just keep going, and we'll pull more and more women and pull everyone in to giving each other space and love and understanding. And it's just, I know I've said the word beautiful like 3 million times already, but it really is beautiful to me. And if this is the love that I'm already feeling at this point, it's just, I don't know if we can even handle it, but it's beautiful. I'm looking forward to seeing how it touches everyone's lives.
And with that said, for those of you who are just tuning in, today is the release of our book, The Voices of 100 Women. And this book is across Amazon. You can Google the title. You can grab the book today and become a part of the change of sharing your voice, listening to true stories and inspiration through all the different women from all over the world. This book is very diverse. So many people from different places. And Sylvia, our book cheerleader in the room today, is showing that you can get this book live right now as we are talking. And so if you haven't, today is the day where you can really elevate this book and everyone's voices who are in this book, the docu-series that is being prepared as we speak and launching. You can support all of these women and really create a community for change by grabbing this book. It's gifting season is upon us. This is a perfect gift. So with that said, I'm going to go next to Yadi. So what is your biggest hope, and what is one thing you want to leave with the audience today?
Okay. And I already went, I think.
Yeah.
Are we doing it again?
Yeah. You can share one last little thing, and then I'm going to go to KB, and then we'll close this out.
Yeah, I just can't wait for people to get their hands on it. And I forget, what was the question again? I'm sorry.
What was one of your hardest parts of writing your story, of sharing your story?
I think for the first time, sharing it out loud, sharing it openly. And I do have a little bit of, what do you call it? I've always been worried about what my family could say, you know, but the story's not about them. It's about me and how I overcame my challenges personally. So that was probably the biggest struggle, the biggest hurdle. But it's also opened up so much growth in myself, within myself, and a lot of healing. So it's been very beneficial. And I hope that I cause the same effect on others.
Thank you. Do you want to add anything, KB?
Yeah, I actually am struggling with that on my my memoir too. With I keep going and flipping back and forth on what is my family going to say, or what is this person going to say, or you know, as far as stories that I'm telling. But again, I have to think that it is about my story, and it's my story only. So you know, that's been a struggle with me on my personal book. As far as and I also, like Marty, I think I'm supposed to be, you know, Shakespeare and write this, so and it's no. It's not that way at all. It's harder than I thought. I knew it was going to be hard, but it's actually harder than I thought, because I'm feeling emotions that I haven't felt before, because I'm like, you know, in depth thinking of like the, you know, my past and stuff, and I'm just like, oh my god, I found myself sometimes just crying at the computer, and I'm like, okay, go take a break, you know, regroup and come back and you'll be okay. But so I have the same struggles, ladies. So actually my hope as far as with the book, honestly, with everybody, you know, I'm in agreement with what all the other ladies said as far as reaching a global reach. I do believe in collaboration over competition. I think that's a big thing, and I think we can impact and uplift and inspire and empower each other, because that's what it's really all about. Everybody, like you said, has their own story. Everybody has struggles that they've gone through and have overcome, and you know, it's brave to be able to tell your story, and not only will it help you heal and grow, but it will help the next person as well. And I love the She Rises, you know, community, because it's like a sisterhood. It's like a big sisterhood movement, and I absolutely love it. So I think it's gonna go big, and I'm hoping that the book does reach, you know, women all over the world.
Thank you for sharing. I want to say thank you to all of the beautiful ladies who showed up today for yourselves and for your book. I think it says a lot. You know, we spend a lot of time behind the scenes writing these books, creating these books, right? And then when it comes to the day of when we're all supposed to be here, sometimes it doesn't happen. And so I know that it's hard. You know, we try to be mindful of time and dedication wise. And we've spent an hour and 29 minutes talking about resilience, passion, grace, forgiveness, transparency, authenticity, and everything in between. And there's 3 takeaways for me. One is, now more than ever in my life, I have never wanted to be anyone else but myself. I have finally learned over the last 7 years to embrace who I am, what I'm going through, and everything in between, because that's a part of the woman that I'm becoming. And that's a part of my voice. Number 2, I've learned that life is not perfect and no one is perfect in the world. And that we have to give grace and understanding to everyone and investigate and learn to speak the different languages that women speak, the different cultures that we all embrace. And that more than ever, as much as it's been shared about diversity and inclusion, we still have a long way to go. And each and every one of us has the power to make a change, because every woman in this world has a talent that has yet to be unleashed, a unique gift that they have still yet to fully embrace, and a love that is so, so beyond comprehension, but it's there for us. And so my third is, every one of us, number 1, should read each other's chapters, review them privately or openly, in the open space, and share a takeaway that you learned from your fellow co-author in this book. And lastly, share this live, share this with everyone, and invite other women to share their voices. You all have platforms. You all have great ways to bring more voices together. And it's time to make a difference in solidarity and show what true collaboration and community is over competition all day long. Because the one thing that is true in everything that we've all said, love always wins. And that is the power of 100 Voices of Women getting together. So grab this book. I know I personally grabbed 20 of them myself today and sent them out to 20 of my favorites. And I'm really excited to see the growth of this book. And the growth comes from our community of men and women sharing these books, these stories, these lives. All of these things make a difference to us. So thank you, everyone. A lot of love. Thank you for staying on as long as we have. And it was so beautiful and great to see you all. My name is Hannah Libas. I'm from She Rises Studios. And I am joined by the most extraordinary women in the world today.
Yay!
Yay!
All right, have a good one, guys.
Bye,
Bye, everyone. Bye, ladies.
Bye. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Hannah. Thank you, everyone.
Take care.
Bye,
Bye,
everyone.
everyone.
Bye.